Hey, it's Sunday, and Morton's not here, so well, I'm taking over. I brought my boss. He's on. Let's see, that side. You can see he's wearing a red hat. I'm just an elf today. But yeah, as I said, Morton is off. Believe it or not, he couldn't be here. He preferred to stick around looking at grown men in shorts running after and kicking air encased in leather, or what we call football in Norway. So that's why he didn't come. But it doesn't matter. We have Sean and we have Jürgen and we have all the rest of the crew. So I think we're going to have a great show. We're going to talk about gifts. Ooh, I think my sound is too. Let's see. We're going to talk about gift ideas for ham radio operators today, and I'm just as prepared as I always am. I just got back from London about an hour ago, so I'll do my best. But before then, let's do some ham radio moments, and I think Morten usually starts on his lower right. So Kjetil, any interesting ham radio moments?
Yeah, it's a thing that you said you're really sad not to come to, the junk sale. I had a lot of fun. There was so much junk there, but also some useful stuff if you're like into testing equipment and so on. So you could get, well, a vintage HTTP signal generator or scope for like $10 or something like that if you wanted to. A bit too pricey for my end. But I ended up getting a lot of fun stuff. Made a video about it. Some of it isn't working, but well, for the price, I don't care. It's fun anyways, and got lots of materials for new antennas and so on. Probably enough copper wire for the rest of my life. So yeah, so that was I think that was actually the ham radio moment of the week. Really fun.
Yeah, you skipped all the junk sale at Friedrichshafen, so you had to stock up now, right?
No, no, I actually didn't buy. The only thing I bought in Friedrichshafen was new stuff. And that was
exactly,
barely
because you said you're not interested in junk, and now look at you. No, just kidding.
Yeah, so but it's really fun, and there's some echo from somebody.
That's probably me.
Yeah. Anyways, not so much activity done. Some other random radio, some WinLink, and did a POTA today with a few QSOs. And yeah, that's it, I think.
Yeah, sounds like a good week. And thank you so much, by the way, for alerting me to this junk sale after it was done. That was really nice.
I did send you images before, so you could have me buy if you wanted.
You sent pictures of all the junk, none of the good stuff.
Good point.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. There'll be other chances, and basically, I have to dig another floor beneath my house if I buy more junk now. So, might be a good idea that I missed it. Tobias, anything interesting ham radio wise?
Not really. I managed to hang my cabinet. There it is, where I put all my handsets in. So that's as much of a ham radio moment as I can give you. And apart from that, I think I went briefly out yesterday with the car and had a look how the bands are. 10 meter was pretty open to the US, but there was some contest. Whenever I hear contest, I run. So I'm a bit weird that way. So I made exactly one USO, I think, with some special call sign station, some special station. I have not looked it up yet, what it was all about. But that was at least, hey, one QSO is better than no QSO, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, that's it from my side.
I think you can even say that one QSO, it's infinitely much better than none. So good job. But I'll tell you, if you just want to activate a park, then there's nothing like a contest. You just do 001, 002, and when you get to 003, that takes about 2 minutes. Your activation is done.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the ARRL sweepstakes that's going on right now, the exchange is like, it is the most, oh my gosh, complicated, aggravating thing. Sean, have you heard any of those this weekend? It's like,
what's your social security number?
I know, it's like the year you were licensed. Then they have a designated letter for what type of power
13 encoded. No,
it's crazy. It's crazy. I was like, and I love this American Radio Relay League, but
I heard them. I tried to decrypt what they are talking about, but
they're turning people off. You know what I mean? It's like I'm like, I don't even want to operate today listening to this. You know, so and it's not what we're supposed to be doing. So anyway, didn't mean to interrupt, but you said I thought that might have been the contest you heard today there, Tobias.
I'm not sure. I think it was. I don't think it was something from the US, but there's always a contest interfering with my happiness.
Oh, that's a nice way of looking at it. And I saw a picture. I can't remember where of the cabinet. It's looking really good twice. The thing is, you might have bought a cabinet that was too small because I think it's full already.
Yeah, I realized that as well. I think it did not. I did not think about the length of the antennas. Yeah, I think it has 2 glass shelves, and I already removed one, and now I'm wondering if I should get a second one.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Jürgen, ham radio moment.
My ham radio moments, because I had several of it. First of all, I managed to work my 3000th park this week. So,
wow.
Yay.
Patience, well done.
Wow.
And yesterday I worked my 73rd POTA country in South Africa for the very first time. And I also did a little, pardon me, cleanup in my shack, and I found several things, but we will come to this point later. And yeah, I had a lot of stuff I trashed yesterday afternoon because I don't need it anymore. And yeah, those were my ham radio moments of the week.
So when you
aren't
find
we
stuff...
having a giveaway today? I think I just remembered, Jürgen. You have something to donate for the cause?
I found an old handheld transceiver. It's from the brand Elin. It's a German one, or it's a Swiss one. I'm not sure. But it was not working anymore. The battery leaked, and it was totally
it was a CW
junk,
key,
so
or
I
did
trashed it.
Mess something up? I think I remember someone.
Yeah, but I have to admit, I have no idea how to work this giveaway tool anyway. So unless we want to do it the good old-fashioned way with numbers from Whisper Spots, then it's probably better to do the giveaway next week.
Okay, well, I guess we wait for the boss to come back, right?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. He knows what he's doing.
It still arrive before Christmas, 1 week.
Happy amateurs there. But you said something interesting here, Jürgen. You said you found something in your shack or in your basement that you didn't need, and you threw it out. That's allowed?
Yeah, yesterday. Lots of stuff, lots of old electronics.
You'll teach me how to do that, because that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, you know, I'm collecting so much stuff over the years, and it's getting more and more, and sometimes I have to clean up, and yeah. Some parts I give away, and yeah, the other parts I just throw them into the trash. Oops.
And we lost Kjetil.
Yeah, he was also on the naughty list, so I kicked him out of here.
All right, yeah. Yeah, he's also on cellular, right? On the cellular connection, so that might be the reason he disappeared. Let's see if he reappears. But in the meantime, Sean, any interesting ham radio moments?
You know, this week, I didn't even, well, actually, you know what was kind of cool this week was there was a guy who contacted me, and he was like, hey, could you help me try to test out my 2-meter radio? I'm at home. He's in like a valley. And I said, sure. And he got on, and he sounded absolutely horrible. And as everybody's like fighting over what it could be, I'm like, wait a minute, how strong is your power supply? And he goes, I'm using a 2-amp power supply on a 50-watt radio, or 3-amp power supply on a 50-watt radio. There's your problem. You know, so I got to meet up with the guy. I gave him some gear just that I had laying around. Much like most of us here, too much gear, not enough room. And it was really cool because he got home, he set it all up, and he's like, I'm being heard on all these repeaters and stuff. And I just thought it was kind of joyful to be able to do that. And then I guess it was really cool. I guess the other thing is I got to go out to the field this week, although I had some bad coax. I didn't get to fully test it, but I'm testing out the HRD 25. So that was kind of fun.
Oh, wow.
25-foot antenna, you know. So I've been having fun, staying really busy with design stuff and whatnot. Not as much radio, but still radio related. It was great.
Yeah, That sounds good. You're really deserving of the hat today, then.
That's right. Always.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. How about you, Walt? Any interesting radio activities?
Yeah, this was a fun one. So I built a off-center fed vertical dipole for the 10-meter band, and I did a sketch for it. It's on the thumbnail, and my reason I did that is because we all know you build an off-center fed so you can make it multi-band, whatever. My thought pattern was I could stay in the Jeep, have the the flagpole holder under the tire, have everything compact, and I could sit in one little parking spot and operate. And also with the it'd be a half wavelength, so it would be a true complete antenna. I wouldn't need radials or any type of worry about RF ground or whatever. And also with the kind of 2/3 to 1/3, the upper element would be even more. It would be greater than a quarter wave, so the takeoff angle would come down. It would be a great antenna. So I took it out and had some good times with it. Now I got to tell you, when I first started my channel, I used to and I know people probably hated me for it, but I would share my video on all the Facebook groups, building antennas, making antennas, whatever, right? And I hadn't done that in probably a year or two. I haven't done it. I figured, you know what? I haven't done a building an antenna video in a month or so. And I haven't, I think I'll share this one on a couple Facebook groups. And there's like making antennas for ham radio. That was cool, whatever. There's one group. And I guess you find out real quick, and I remembered real quick why I quit sharing on Facebook because of this, because I shared on this group.
What mistakes did you make, Walt? Did they all explain to you why it can't work?
Well, here's what's funny. Here's what's funny about it. So the thumbnail has the sketch I did, my sketches how to build the antenna, and it was on the thumbnail, and I put it in the group making antennas. I believe it's the Facebook group. And shared it, and then the video's live. So all the experts start coming to me and telling me this won't work. You won't, this you have the coax at a 45 degree off of the vertical dipole. It should be exactly 90 degrees. Just anything and everything, including the admin of the group, is telling me everything was wrong. So I go back and I ask them, I said, did any of you guys actually watch the video? And one guy even said, we don't need to watch the video to say that's a piece of crap, right? I said, okay, no worries.
Right.
No worries. So meanwhile, in the video, which is only like a 10-minute video, here in North America, in the northern part of the United States, I was banging into Argentina, the southern part of Argentina, 5'9", with 21 with my G90, and making contacts all over South America. Just the antenna was awesome. It worked great. So it was great because there was a time when I first started, and Sean, you'll probably remember this too, when you first started, where those type of things would just tick you off and get under your skin and bother you or whatever. Man, that was the greatest thing ever. Even though I know those guys will never watch the video, there are people out there that watched the video and saw these experts in this Facebook group.
Wait until you get letters for your book about what's wrong with your book, right?
Right. So, but you know what? Every once in a while, you need a reminder of why you don't do things. And I was reminded why I don't share to Facebook, and I won't be sharing to Facebook probably anymore. It was just, what was I thinking? But that was my ham radio week.
If you don't mind,
but
I'll
now
make
you have the confidence to just ignore it all.
Yeah.
Because you know it works, right? You make the contacts, and it works for you, so all is well.
There will be no changing those minds. It's kind of like you just kind of do your thing, and your crowd will attract you, because the truth of the matter is there's technical people who know the book, and anything that's not in the book exact and you don't do it exact, it won't work. But then there's the experimental guys who are actually experimenting in amateur radio. I don't understand that one. And those are the guys who are out there saying, okay, well, if I modify this a little bit, it might not be perfect, but it will still work. And boy, that's a joy. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you made that video and made those contacts, and that's proof. I mean,
yeah, it's proof. And listen, I never claim to be a theoretical expert. I like to, I tell everybody in my videos, I just like to build it and see if it'll work. It's funny, the editor and publisher of the ARRL book that I'm putting together right now with all my sketches in it, they even said, because I said, listen, guys, I don't know why you would want me to do a book. And the guy said, and I'm going to put this in the book, he said, We wanted Jimmy Buffett. We didn't want Mozart. We already have Mozart. It's called the ARRL antenna book. He said we wanted the flip flops shorts, go out on the beach and build an antenna guy. That's why we asked you to do the book. We did the book with you. So the problem is everyone thinks they're Mozart. Well, there's nothing wrong with sitting on the beach and being Jimmy Buffett as well. And that's kind of where I'm trying to go with, operating. And there you go.
Yeah. Remember though, there's nothing in amateur radio is good if it has the name dude in it. So I'm happy for you, Walt. I really am. And I love that analogy. The Jimmy Buffett. That's awesome.
That's right. I want a margarita now. How about you guys?
Another good reason to not post in all of the groups is that, well, everybody that sees it want to add you as a friend or send you a PM. So if you don't exist, then you don't exist. So
that doesn't happen to me. I think I'm not projecting that friendly vibe. I think so. That doesn't happen to me when I post in Facebook groups. So I must be doing something right.
Yeah,
but there's a saying. I can't remember where it's from, but it's a saying that says that the person that says it can't be done will always be interrupted by the person who did it. Yeah, so I think that's a good saying to keep in the back of your head when people tell you it can't work.
That's it. That's motivation. Yeah. That's really awesome. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So
I think it's like in all of life. People are not willing to take any compromises, right? Not with antennas, not with politics. It's always 100% or nothing, yeah? And that's just not how the world is, right? So sometimes compromise antenna is perfectly fine because that's the one you can build and you can get up and start making contacts with. And of course it's not perfect, but making contacts.
I think as far as antennas go, I think it's physically impossible to create something that is not a compromise in at least some ways. There is, as a matter of definition, no perfect antenna.
Every antenna is compromised as soon as you turn that VFO dial. You know what I mean? As soon as you turn the VFO dial, that antenna is compromised in some way or another. It's not dialed in for every frequency.
No. Yeah. So I haven't done much radio. For my ham radio week, I went to London with the XYL, and for some reasons she preferred. I left the radio at home. I think after 4 separate 1 week vacations where I've gone alone to play radio, she thought it was about time we spent some time together as well. So we went for a weekend to London, and that was fun. London is always a really, really nice place. But of course, now I have to go for a week so I can activate some mountains and parks there. So, but I'll wait for springtime. But I have been doing something else.
Take her shopping in London, and then say you go to all the stores you want. I just want to go to one, and then you go Martin Lynch and Sons. You know what I mean?
Is that in London though? Because I think that's someplace else, isn't it?
I don't know if they have one there or not. It's somewhere. It's outside of London, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The solution is give your wife your credit card, and she's going shopping, and you go to the park.
Yeah, no. I think it would be less expensive for me to just go alone later.
The Westminster Bridge that has a little bit of metal on it, doesn't it?
You will tune that up?
Yeah, will it antenna? That would be
G90 and make
perfect.
a few contacts.
Yes, that would be perfect.
If you get arrested, I'm not sure.
I'd take that risk.
I have an idea now, and it's not London, but you can take the train to another cool city from London, and they have a really huge metal structure there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Really love to try to tune that up.
Can I match the Eiffel Tower? Yeah, where's the French? Where are they? No pioneering spirits here, and I'm really disappointed.
I tried to tune the one up in Vegas. There's a Eiffel Tower in Vegas, and I just felt really awkward. I felt like I was being stared down and watched, so I did it quick and I wasn't successful, but maybe next time I'll go with a better tuner.
But you know the big elk or a moose in Storelvdal, Bob?
Yeah.
It's a 10-meter high moose statue, and some people ran field day using that one here in Norway.
Moose on the air.
I'll find a picture of that and let's, how do we do this? Open in new. There we go. I'll do some sharing for my ham radio week, and I'll show you the elk as well. How do we do this again? Oh, I shouldn't be producing. Percent. And share screen. Let's see. And see what happens now. Yeah, that's scary. Let's start here. That's the moose or the elk we're talking about. Do you remember how it went, Kjetil? Did it work?
Yeah, but I think they didn't use it as a primary antenna. I think it was mostly for the fun of it.
Yeah. So,
yeah. But there were some QSOs, some SSB QSOs, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'll be cool. So, but my ham radio week has been very little radio, but I did order this thing, and now waiting intensely, almost holding my breath. That's the plan is to run the LoRa APRS firmware on that thing as well, and then you can do APRS messaging all over LoRa with this standalone device, which I think looks really cool. You can poke a hole in the top of it and put in an antenna. So I ordered a few external antennas, and well, we'll see how that works out. So I'm looking forward to that. And I've been playing some more with the tracking. So if we look at this, this is my way home from the airport today. It's a total drive of about 2 hours. And as you can see, it's only been 17 days since we were allowed to use LoRa on under ham license in Norway.
It's already getting out of control a little bit.
It's not really that many trackers, but for this 2 hour drive, I was tracked pretty well for quite a bit of the way. So things are happening, and yeah, really fun stuff. I also built the antenna, but I think I showed that off last. Stop sharing. Let's see. Yeah, last week, and yeah, there's a video that ground plane antenna for 433 megahertz. So not a lot of radio, but we'll see if we can rectify that in coming weeks. At least I'm going to build more antennas for 433 because man, that's a lot easier when you have a 70 centimeter wavelength than when you have 20 meter wavelengths. It's a lot easier to build the antennas for sure. Yeah, that was my week. And
at 868 megahertz, it's already getting tricky again because 1 millimeter here and there already makes a big difference. So 70 centimeter is probably the sweet spot,
kind of
or maybe 2 meters. 2 meters would be an easy.
2 meters, it's too big. Yeah, I think that's too big. But 70 centimeters, it's a nice span for experimenting and building antennas. So there's going to be more of that for sure. But we have a topic for today, and we still have more than half of the show left. So who wants to talk about gift idea for ham radio operators?
Let's rock and roll. I'll go first.
Yeah, let's do it.
I tell you, for me, the thing that I always run out of and I'm always short on is wire. I think if you've got that ham in your life that builds antennas and you don't know what to get him, like you don't want to get him his 10th UV5R to put in his stocking because he's already got 9 of them. Wire's a great thing. I go through wire. I know I call it a consumable, and I know that's bad. I probably should save wire more, but building a lot of antennas, I think a lot of hams, over time you find a need for or whatever for wire. So I think that would be the number one thing. If you're trying to think of a gift to give a ham, spool of wire is my number one for me.
Yeah. That's should we give some suggestions as to what type of wire?
That's where you guys, I don't know if you can get it in Europe as easy as we can, but what is it called? The biotech, whatever.
BNTech Go.
Yeah, BNTech Go. It's on Amazon. I go through the 20 AWG, the 20 gauge wire like candy, but BNTech Go from Amazon. It's inexpensive too. If you're in the States, I guess you guys have Amazon, a way of getting it there. I just don't know if you get the same products as we do, but that would be the way to go. Go on Amazon and look. Just all you got to do is just go on Amazon and type in 20 AWG wire. It'll pop right up.
It most definitely will. And the nice thing about it, it's inexpensive. Sometimes it tends to stretch, so you might need to retune it, now and then, or maybe cut a little bit off. But it's an expensive wire, and the nice thing about it being silicone wire is it's very flexible. It'll bundle up, it'll unbundle, and it doesn't keep a memory, is a good way to put it.
But this is copper wire?
Yes. It's copper plated. I believe it's
That would actually be for antenna wire. I think that would be the best copper coated steel, because then you get all the nice properties of steel, and you will get the conductivity on the outer layer of the copper. So I think that would be the best thing. So
there you go.
Yeah.
We'll do an unboxing live.
Yep.
Oh man, the box is hard to unbox. It's like a perfect Christmas gift. But,
there it is.
Nice.
Yep.
Yep.
Fantastic. Let me, since we're talking about wire, let me share screen again, and I'll show you the wire that I like. It's from Sotabeams, COUK. It's I can't talk and think at the same time. Let's see. And there we go. And this one, it's 500 meters for without tax. It's about 40 pounds. That would be about 55 euros or 55
That's not bad.
dollars. No, so I think that's from Sotabeams. Sotabeams COUK. I've been using that wire for antennas. It's fairly thin, so it doesn't support anything. It supports itself, and that's about it. But other than that, 500 meters of wire, that creates an awful lot of antenna.
This is the other thing I go through. I just bought this today. We have this wonderful chain here. I'm sorry. This wonderful
Disappearing tape.
in the United States called the Dollar Tree. And yeah, electrical tape. That's my best friend. These are good stocking stuffers as well. But here you go. That's that.
Yeah.
I got it started. Now you guys go for the high end items.
yeah, so I'll piggyback off of you, Walt. And if you're going to get wire, you might consider finding wire winders for your significant other. It's something that you don't need to be very technical about. For example, if you're going to buy them a radio, you'd be like, well, is this the radio they want? Is this I don't know anything about radios. Is this the digital mode? When you get wire winder's a nice thing to have. And, you could always look online for wire winders. For example, I think here in the States, it's DX Engineering has wire winders available, or there's an online store called Etsy, and you can go to Etsy.com. It's like a craft store where people will make you a wire winder. And, it's really nice because then when you're out in the field, you have a nice, easy way to carry your wire and unwrap it without it getting all tangled up. So that's, maybe something that would be a good piggyback stocking stuffer off of what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And in that aspect, there is a lot of really cool homemade gifts, or ham-made gifts, if you will, that you might consider on Etsy. Like, I'll share my screen right now, I think. And I'll give you ideas that way. I don't know. You guys have Etsy in Europe, right? Okay, cool.
Absolutely, they do. I actually bought a infed halfway from a French store in Etsy while I was in Poland.
Very good. So here is that's awesome and perfect. All I did is typed in ham radio at Etsy, and you could see like there's personalized CNC engraved wood things that you could put on top of your radio, for example. And, maybe that's cool. Maybe they enjoy that kind of stuff, or even a hat with their call sign on it, a shirt with their call sign on it, so these are like more personalized gifts. Here we talk about wire winders. I know that guy, W9FFF.
I think you need to zoom in slightly if you can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could do that. Or maybe if I do this.
Yeah, much
help?
better.
Yeah, that helps.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And then there's my honey. Anyway, you can continue down and look at there's like I don't know why that keeps popping up. There's a like a wall placard, right, where you can get a customized call sign for the wall, or maybe a wood one that says "Now entering the ham shack." Kind of cool stuff out there. And there's patches if you want patches, or maybe even just a cool card with your call sign on it. So these are very thoughtful, customized gifts. And I do caution you, because if you're going to buy a customized gift, they might take a little bit of time to make and get shipped out to you. So now you want to start thinking about buying these as opposed to in a few weeks. I went on a little bit more and I went to ham radio ornaments, and you could buy a ham radio Christmas ornament. So like this one's really cool. Where'd it go? You can put your name right there, a little old radio. Maybe that's not a ham radio, but it is still kind of cool,
I think you're not sharing the right screen, are you now?
Oh, it didn't pop up. Oh, okay. My apologies. Well, anyway, it's right here.
Yeah, and also like you said, buy, but a lot of these things are stuff you can make yourself as well.
That's
Like
fair.
if you have kids and want them to make something nice for a grandfather or something, then maybe you can make them draw something, or you can 3D print their own wire winder. You can download a lot of these models. So there's a lot of things you can make yourself from this and just get inspiration as well. Maybe you have a nice sewing machine or know somebody that has that and can actually make this yourself locally. That's a cool gift idea.
Yeah, and actually,
You just
you
made me
bring up.
mind, Chetel, am I the only grandfather here? Yep.
I might be.
I have my wife has a granddaughter.
Okay.
But that was from before I married her. So
Well, so I'm going to have to get my wife, my son, and his wife to watch this video so we can, so possibly I can get something.
Yeah, absolutely. And that comes up to another point too. We talked earlier about how maybe you're not technical enough to be like, I want to buy him the best radio out there or whatever. You could still consider certain things like the RTL SDR. What this does, just in case you're unaware, is you could plug this in via USB and plug it into an antenna. And this allows you on your computer to listen to a broad range of frequencies. You could listen to anything from ham radio all the way up to maybe even police frequencies here in the States. I don't know the legality in Europe, but it has a very wide range. And it's really fun to be able to listen to signals from all over the world with this little thing right here, which is really cheap, like 27 US dollars, probably, what is that, like 20 some odd euro?
Great idea. I didn't even think about that. I've got 3 of those. So each version as they came out, I got the next one and the next one. That's a great gift idea.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, think about it. You get this in a stocking stuffer. I would be thrilled.
Me too.
I'm just letting you all know.
That USB SDR there. That's if you have someone, if you are a ham and have someone you think might be a candidate to become one, that's a fantastic gateway drug. Get them hooked with an SDR, and I think that's what got me into actually taking the license eventually. I got one of these. I put a small loop antenna in the attic. I started decoding Whisper and FD8 from all around the world with that simple setup, costing less than 100 euros. I was hooked. That was that did it for me.
Well, actually, that was my way back into ham radio after a long break. Yeah, I got one of these RTLs, hung a bit of wire out of the roof window down into the garden, had a look around, and then I thought, it's not so bad. There's actually stuff going on. I should really, get back on.
Good call.
RTL awesome. SDR is very good, and if you have one of the elder handsets that have waterfall, sometimes there's also an easy way to tap into the IF of your non-modern radio, and then you can use RTL SDR as your waterfall display. Also a nice up.
Then you'll graduate to something like this. This is an Air Spy. So then you start having to have, sorry about green screen. This is an Air Spy HF Plus. This is a rabbit hole gift. When you get one of those, you'll it's just like everything else hams do. You got to have the best.
Yeah, I have to see that if you're going to do a USB SDR radio, the one you showed there, Walt, is about as good as it gets, I think, for the small, inexpensive USB dongles. That's an amazing device. I have that one. That was on my way to getting the license. I stopped by that as well. So very, very cool little thing.
I see that a few minutes ago, Abe, Kilo Charlie 3 Whiskey Oscar Alpha, had a question about like gift ideas for kids to get them into radio. These ones, buy one of these ones if they are old enough to use a computer. Like if you're a 13, 14-year-old kid and get to like spy on everything around you. How cool is that? If they're younger and if you're buying walkie-talkie, buy some good ones. Don't buy the $5 ones that you get for a pair or something. Like get the proper ones that are actually like worth using.
So the bluey walkie-talkies I'm getting from my grandson, I should take them back.
Yeah, but I think Mr. Dude next or above me here, he had some really nice kid toy for kids as well, right? The orange thing you were holding up.
Well, yeah, I think that it actually, depending on how old your kid is and maybe under proper supervision, I think it is actually a really cool toy. It's the Flipper Zero.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of negativity on it, but this thing is like the king of all RF. With it, I hook up external antennas and modules, and I build antennas with this, and I see how far I can open my garage door. I go like across the street, and I go a quarter mile away, and I'm using a Yagi to open my garage door and stuff like that too. So it's sometimes non-nefarious. I think it's really a cool little thing. Plus, you could learn about turning on and off TVs and scanning, and causing a little kind of fun at the house. But the kid will get really involved in this.
Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could shut off your neighbor's Wi-Fi.
How much power does that thing put out, Sean?
How much power?
know?
It's in the milliwatts. It's not even a watt, so it's very low power. I don't recall exactly.
No, because I have the Hack RF, which is basically does some of the same things, not as nicely maybe, but also a cool device if you're into a bit more hardcore hacking.
I would agree with
there
that.
was a discount on AliExpress. I bought this week. I bought the Hack RF for 155 euros, the Porter pack.
Yeah.
With the new one, the H4M, and I can't wait to receive it by the end of the month. And then
okay, well, actually, already got a few presents for myself. Maybe you want to quickly embiggen it. Ignore the function generator on the left side. That's waits for.
Hang on.
You're breaking up a bit, Tobias, when you're sitting too far from the mic, I think.
There we go.
Okay, then I eat my microphone now. Maybe that's better.
Way better.
Yes.
The tiny SA Ultra is a good gift, and light VNA 64. That's basically a beefed up version of a Nano VNA H4. Yeah, I think it just goes to higher frequencies, so you don't really need the light VNA 64. You can also just get a Nano VNA H4. But the bigger display definitely is nice. So if you go with the original Nano VNA, they're quite small, the display, and the eyes are not as good as they used to be, get the one with the bigger display. But those are two investments that will last you for a while, and you have fun with it, and you will really use it for building antennas and measuring stuff. So that's it's good to have in a toolbox, I'd say.
Also, if you want to learn about RF, the finer details of let's say impedance matching and such things, then having that at least the VNA around, that's a very, very nice tool for learning about RF and understanding things.
I just remember from my very, very early days in 11 meter CB, it's such a pain to tune your SWR when all you have is a SWR meter, right? I mean, hey, hook up the Nano VNA. Oh, there's the dip. Oh, it's too short. Oh, it's too long. 1 centimeter up and down. Bang, you're on frequency. Save so much time and hassle and pain. Get a VNA. But I'm repeating myself. I think every single second episode, I'm telling people to buy a Nano. I'm sorry for that, but get one.
You also got the. Go ahead, Bolt.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say you got the Tiny SA as well, and I think if you know someone, if you have someone in your life that has a Tiny SA, perfect gift for him is attenuators, because that thing is you're going to blow that to smithereens if you just connect it to the output of a radio. So attenuators all the way.
Yeah, that's a great point. Attenuators are definitely needed.
But I think for somebody not skilled with radio, it's hard to pick attenuators, right? I mean. You can also tell them, get the 50 decibel 100 watt attenuator, but that's not really cost efficient, right?
I've gone for one big 20 dB attenuator, and my reasoning is that's going to take everything down to a level where I can just use 2 watt attenuators after it. So for anything, I'm likely to put into anything.
You need to chain it up, so you first want to get it down to 10 watts or so, and then you can continue with it.
Yeah.
I mean, for somebody to buy something like that, buying attenuators, I would not. I don't know. I would not think a, wife/girlfriend could pick the right attenuator for you.
No. Maybe you have to put it on a list and send it to. Let's see, that guy, my boss over there.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yep.
There's a couple of routes we can continue to go.
If you're in Europe and if you're interested buying Rig Experts analyzers for cheap, there's a store in Slovenia. Let me show it to you. Hold on a second. No, I don't want to share my whole screen.
That's what I want a Rig Expert bad. That is on my list. I have an Nano VNA, but I want a Rig Expert.
Okay, anyway, let me share my screen.
Right now, I have a really nice antenna analyzer that also doubles as a QRP transceiver. It's called the X5105. That's what I use. It does a great sweep. It really does.
That works out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So can you see my screen?
No.
Well, hold on a second. Yes, here we go.
There we go. I think that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I found
yes.
this a couple of years ago. If you compare the prices of Vimo for this 0.1 to 500 megahertz analyzer with the site here, this is the store in Slovenia. It's called PCS Electronics. I don't get any money from them. Look at the price here. 300 euros in Slovenia and 429 euros in Germany.
That's insane. Have you bought from that store before?
Yeah. I bought my Rig Expert from there.
That a special offer or so because they?
No, I don't know.
Price.
My one is a US version. I don't know what they are doing, how they get to this price, but they are very cheap. Yeah.
What's the URL for that?
The URL is in the chat.
It's in the chat.
Oh, it probably didn't show up, but
No.
I want to make a quick mention too. If your significant other or whoever you're buying a gift for, on that screen actually was something called the Rig Expert Zero, and there was the 0 and the 02. And what they are is they're modules that you could hook up to something like an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi, and you could program it, and you can make your own SWR analyzer or sweeper. So if your person you're buying for is very technical and they like the hands-on building and programming coding, a Rig Expert Zero is like a perfect gift for them.
This show is going to cost me so much money. Oh,
yeah, I must say I'm a bit miffed with Rig Expert because a while ago I got the Shack Master and this power supply, right? I don't know why I got it. It has this round OLED display in the middle that displays current consumption and wattage and so on. So it looks very fancy, but from a usability point of view, a touch screen on a power supply is really a terrible idea. Nevertheless, the problem I have with it, it's also made by Expert, I think, and I could find absolutely no way to register. They gave you this nice registration card. The code on the registration card is different from the serial number that the device shows, and whatever you enter on their website to register, it just doesn't work. So, I don't know. And there's also no way to contact them. So I'm not impressed by Rig Expert. But nevertheless, maybe the analyzers are great. And if you're happy with them, go for it. I'm just saying I had a bit of a mixed experience. Well, the power supply works, and as long as it works, I don't need it to be registered. It's a bit, well, I mean, it's 2024. Yeah, one would think, how hard is it to set up a website where you can register a device that.
Yeah. So I took the liberty of sharing something as well, Bod, just as a little speed run through a few very stupid ideas to go to the end here.
Let's see. This is yours.
Yeah, first one here. Yeah. Roughly, this is something that was a big game changer for me. And this is a much cheaper version, but getting a crimping tool for somebody that doesn't have it, if you're working with cables.
Wonderful idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be expensive, but of course, the more money, the more better, or whatever it's called in English. So this one could be a good idea.
The URL was for the previous recommendation.
Yeah, so if you hide the URL, but and
sorry.
then going on to the next one here, this is the one I think Sean talked about earlier. Ornaments, or it's from Etsy, so you can get some customized ornaments for your Christmas tree or your friend's Christmas tree.
That one's a
Really
good one.
useless. Yeah, but it is pretty.
Ham yourself a Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah, the puns are really bad over there. If you're portable, if your significant other or grandfather or grandmother or whoever is into hiking, get some food, some hiking food. This is just an example, which you can get here in Norway, but like dry food like this, it's amazing to have when you're out hiking or if you're just doing a pota in a park or whatever. And the last one for the dynamic ham radio couple, this one. If you want to go like matching, so bored, the next time you're taking your wife out, get something like this. She will be so happy.
Yeah.
My wife would rather wear one that says Zygu on it, though. I don't like.
Yeah, I'm sure I can get that as well. But just look at how happy she is and so on.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that would be the face of my wife if I forced her to wear a Yaesu t-shirt.
Yeah, for the podcast
maybe the face of our divorce lawyer would look like that, but not my wife's. So,
yeah, for the podcast listeners, there's a couple here with.
On the other hand, you don't need life insurance if the husband has enough Yaesus to sell off.
Yep.
After his demise, you're fine.
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another idea. Let's see if I have the. No, that's not. That's the one. Maybe if you're into Meshtastic, that's a nice gadget. Watch with built-in LoRa lever, and I think at the there's already a firmware out and do Meshtastic watch. That would be a fun little thing. You just have to pick the correct frequency for your region. Maybe that is thing. It's completely useless just for fun. But if you're wandering around in the city, maybe a fun gadget to have.
You know if there's a firmware for that to do LoRa APRS?
I don't know, but
I
mean, if it's one of the ESP32s, I mean, just a matter of time until there is one. I guess.
Yeah, can you use it for finding your kids as well when they're out running?
Not sure if it has a chip. Does it have a chip?
Have you ever heard about? Have you ever heard of Meshcom?
No.
It was invented by the Austrian Radio Amateur Society, and it's basically it's Meshtastic on ham radio. On 433 megahertz on 70 centimeters. There is a link to it, so you can do everything you can do with Meshtastic, but with ham radio and with more power, of course.
I think that watch that I just showed doesn't have a GPS, but I guess it will be anyway linked to your smartphone as the GPS.
Yep.
I will share the link. Let's take the English version. I will put it in the chat. Kjetil, can you
I think so far we are quite reasonable with our purchases, right? No crazy
I was thinking
FT710 or FTDX10. We are all, very reasonable guys here.
Anybody get your significant other, DX10 and a Yaesu FT DX10, and it's about $1,500 US. And if they don't like it, you could just ship it to me.
Yep. And Sean, we talked about here in the States, the jewelry store. There's a commercial advertisement where the woman holds up her hand with a beautiful diamond on it and says, "He went to Jared." I want my wife. I want to be able to say, "She went to Radiodity." You know what I mean?
She went to Ferret. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's tons of stuff, but if you want to go up in price, and it really does. Let's just be realistic. It depends on what person you're buying for is into, because radio has so many different ways we can go. The experimental aspect, the building aspect, and just the operating on the radio aspect. So it's hard to.
You can't go wrong with tools or wires or coax cable or adapters. That's always a safe bet.
Yeah, I'm sharing.
But then it becomes a bit tricky because you really have to know the person very well, what they're into.
Yeah, I'm sharing something. If you want to give somebody something small, something like that doesn't take a lot of space indoors, then this is great because you can just hide it away, right? Just get one or two of these ones. Of course, it's out of stock, but well, it's an example. That's a Flex Radio 6700 or so.
I'll use that as an argument with the wife if she thinks I have too big stuff. If it takes too much room, I'll say there's a solution to that, and I'll show her this one.
Yeah, because you can make this really small. You can see here it fits under or next to the computer and so on, and can do quite a few things.
Under the tree, no problem. And if you notice there, the back of that radio takes power pole adapters. And I think that's a really cool thing to also mention is a very big standard in amateur radio or ham radio is power poles. Everybody loves power poles. And so you might consider getting them a couple of power pole things like a crimper or a connector. I just shared my screen there. And I'll give you an example of what a power pole connector is that way, or this is a crimper, a power pole crimper. And as you can see, it says it's good for 15, 30, and 45 amps. 35, or that's like the standard with radio pretty much. And so 15, 30, and 45 amp crimper is what you might look for. Of course, they might also want some connectors. And if that's the case, you can get them like an assorted Anderson power pole connectors. It comes with a variety of 15, 30, and 45 amps, which work perfect for that. And then they can learn to crimp the end of their power cables from like their power supply that will go into the radio or wherever they're going to put it. This is a really cool gift. It teaches them how to use these things. And power poles have been so important in my life for sure.
Yeah,
you can get them in nicer colors as well, like if you want green or blue or yellow. So be creative.
Green and
red.
Don't
be creative. That's black for ground and red for 12 volts. Don't be creative with your power poles, please.
The first time I was told to wire something at work as an apprentice, the guy just told me be creative and left the room, and I had wired 100 or so PLC connectors, like for a factory, and everything was reversed. Everything was ground was red and power was or signal was black.
That's fantastic. Yep. I think I have just one suggestion for a shopping list for your significant other ham operators, and that's the Lil Dude. Because I hear rumors that that's coming back in stock, Sean. And for anyone, you buy a gift for anyone that's fond of operating outside. That is a very, very good Christmas idea, and I think it's a nice. It's not too expensive for a Christmas gift. So
right, I think it's priced in the aspect. I hate to talk about myself, but
I'm talking about it now. So you're just supplying the details.
I do think it's priced in an aspect, though, where you could purchase it and you could still have to pay shipping and customs, but you're still probably getting a deal compared to other masks that are out on the market. It would be my thought, but yeah.
And I looked at that compared it to some other 6-meter masts, and that thing is a beast compared to the other things. They'll break from you just looking at them funny, and the Little Dude does not do that. So. Yeah, that's my only suggestion. Actually, I've had a busy week. I hadn't had time to think of anything else. So.
Yeah, that's good. I see, Jürgen, you had another gift idea there.
Yeah, this is what I found in a shelf, and I don't need it anymore. So I will give this away to our viewers. So if Bob finds out how the giveaway tool is working, then I will send this to a viewer for free.
Yeah,
it's a pedal. It's very heavy, by the way.
Nice.
It's not a brand. There's no brand on it. So I bought this, I think 10 years ago or so, in Friedrichshafen at the ham radio. So That's it.
It's gorgeous, gorgeous piece of kit, that thing. But if it's all right with you, Jürgen, could we invite you back maybe next week or another time, and Morten can do the giveaway?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
We can.
yeah.
We can do it. This
Yeah.
thing doesn't go anywhere.
That's good, because I have no idea where to find that. I know he said, but my short-term memory is it's really short.
It's
Okay.
over in the private chat board, but it's 5 minutes left, so maybe best to just do it next week instead.
Yeah, that's
Maybe that's like
Okay.
one other really cool thing that they would enjoy if they are into the outdoor thing, like Parks on the Air and everything. Maybe you plan a trip for that individual. Maybe you two go up there or whatever for the weekend to a state park or to a nice mountain range that has summits. If let them go operate radio for a half a day or a day. That would be really cool. I think somewhere unique that you guys don't typically get out to.
Yeah.
I agree. That is a fantastic idea, and it's enough of a fantastic idea. I'd say if you want to do that for a significant other that's a ham radio operator, you can get in contact with us at our Discord, and we'll come up with some good suggestions for nice places to go to. If there's any interest. That's a very nice idea, Sean. I'd love that gift.
Yeah, absolutely. The last gift too is you could hire Ham Radio Dude to come out and operate with you.
Yeah.
No, it was a good gift until I ruined it.
Unless it's a beach, then you can hire Coastal Waves and Wires. They'll roll up the beach with you.
Yeah.
That would be great.
And Tobias takes the Oktoberfests, or Jürgen, one of you guys.
Oh
Yeah.
dear, no. You can
One
really
of my
punish me
wishes
with
for Christmas
Oktoberfest,
is
you're right?
to have one on-air QSO with Walt. I talked to Sean several times.
Yeah.
I talked to Kjetil. Bob, we have to do a QSO as well. I haven't talked to you on air so
I
far.
got make that happen. We got to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walt, you talked to my friend Mike, my neighbor, OE4MXB. I saw it on YouTube. He was calling CQ, and you came back to him.
I think
that is so.
Like I had an OE today. I think maybe not. No, I had an OT and an OK. I had Czech in Belgium today, not an OE. Okay. This one 10 meters. 10 meters was just amazing today.
Yeah, 20 as well.
We should do the worked all TEHRS thing before all the nice conditions disappear again. We should try and make that happen. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah, or maybe we should do between the years activation day where everybody operates like the guys in the UK did. Yeah, so everybody is live streaming and you can do worked all European ham radio show if you want. Something like that.
Yeah.
What was your friend's call? Your neighbor's call?
Oscar Echo 4 Mike X-Ray Bravo.
Yeah, okay, yeah. February 24th on the 17-meter band. I got it right here.
Because I saw your video and I was listening to it, and then I heard Mike's voice, and I thought, okay,
that guy sounds familiar.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think I got down to 5 watts last time I spoke to you.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah.
That was.
You had
But
great
listen, I
audio
was
today.
the guy on the West Coast last week with only 10 watts. I he was using only 10 watts, and I worked him.
You're doing most of the work though with that big beam.
Yeah, it's not that big kind of an antenna. It's an ultra beam, so the European version of the step IR. But yeah, my advantage is it's very quiet here. Even if I'm in the city and there is a railroad track nearby, but overall it's very quiet here.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, you had great audio today, Jürgen, and I also had a few others from of the regulars in chat here, doing POTA or something like that. So really cool to meet people on the air as well as chat to them. So I think we're getting a nice community going around here. So it would be fun to do one of these streams, like with regulars and so on.
We should do that. But I think for at least for me and for you as well, Kjetil, we prefer to operate outside. So maybe not in the midst of the coldest of winter in Norway.
Yeah, it's nice if it's about -30. Like the laptop.
I think it's nice if it's about 50 above -30. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like if you're going to use a laptop outdoors in that weather, no, it's got to be warm. So
Yep. But I think we actually filled an hour with
yeah,
quite a few gift ideas as well, not just tangents. I think we can be happy with that. I have no idea how to get some euro numbers, but I'm guessing Morten can help us look at that when he gets back from watching the grown men in shorts running around and playing.
yes.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe we should wrap it up then for today, or any other ideas for gifts?
Just a
Final words?
Portable shortwave radio is always a good idea.
Oh wow,
You know?
I had a bunch of those. They're awesome.
And if you're
Yeah.
really feeling generous, 3D printers are always great.
Oh yeah.
I think John to be like Santa's little ham radio helper. He's got all the ideas over here. I'm not being funny.
No, I know.
That's
I'll
good
tell you
stuff.
what, Walt, I'll fly out
That's
there.
too green. We can't see it.
There we go.
No. Maybe. Like so.
You have
No.
to disable your green screen.
It's a
briefly,
Malahit.
then.
It's the original Russian Malahit.
Oh, the Mahali is
SDR.
great. That's a great SDR. That's
Yeah.
costly, but it's worth it. It sounds amazing. It's a very good piece of
Indeed. I
machinery.
think it was over $200 from
Yeah.
Russia. That was before the Ukraine war.
Yeah.
Guess what? Guess what? Radiati just sent me. They sent me the Ratty Malahit DSP. It's only $425 US. I'm going to do a video on it soon. It's like the nicest thing I've ever gotten to review ever. I think it's awesome. So down that
Nice.
road, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be awesome.
Nice.
Very cool. We have cool things to look forward to in the December and the new year. I think that's it for today, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Next
ho,
week
ho.
we'll have
Guys,
Morten back in
for
charge. He
watching.
knows what he's doing, so it's going to be a completely different kind of show. So please tune in. And other than that, I guess 7-3.
7-3.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Be good.